Blessings, everyone. Before commencing with the individual sign weekly readings, let us have a look at the incoming wave or general shift that is coming to all people. Remember, incoming waves extend beyond the single week in influence. These are shifts in the energetic dynamic that are integrating into the new normal. Please also remember, though this wave is already being experienced by many, including myself, these are forecasts of incoming changes. They are not intended to be immediately relatable to those viewing ahead of time, and so they may not be right away. This wave is personified by the Hermit and the Fool. At a glance, it almost felt paradoxical, but that is not so. There is much movement here. This week begins a turn towards deep transition with many trade-offs. The Hermit presents a shift that is spiritually and energetically altering the personal landscape, while the Fool ushers forth new beginnings and departures from old journeys. It is a feeling of abrupt turns and trades, as many stories and phases are suddenly brought to an end to make room for fresh starts and clean slates. Freedom. With this also comes resurrection and connection opportunities with many aspects of self and spiritual kin across many spaces and lifetimes. Remember the return to innocence energies that began to take hold in March. This may be difficult or uncomfortable for those invested in a focus or an outcome, especially if personal healing or identity is wrapped up in that focus or outcome. Remind them of the importance of flow. Show support for the choices to stop going in circles. It's okay to take time away from spaces and those who are not, or choose not to be, ready to take on this week. Make as much room as you can for your gifts. Let the wave do its work. Remember, there is grace here. The new presents before the old departs. Explore the options presenting with discernment and non-judgment. Let the arrival of new opportunities, adventures, breakthroughs, foreignness, and reunions be the mixed bag blessing it is. Well, all right, Aquarius, now that we've had a chance to look over the incoming wave and see what's happening for everybody, not just as it applies to this week, but also what is here to stay as the new dynamic, let's have a look and see how this actually lands for you for this coming week. Now, just a quick reminder, if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's called integrativemysticism.com, or of course you may follow the links below. Open the down bar below if you're on a mobile device. A lot of people have been saying they don't know where the down bar is. You have to open it. Click on the arrow. So anywho, what is going on when it comes to your cards for this coming week? Well, for your archetypal themes, or what is going on as sort of the background energy, what is playing out, what is occurring, in all areas of your life, or stimulating all occurrences in your life, we have the High Priestess upright. And this is a week of a great many revelations and eureka moments, but also divine assistance coming to you, Aquarius people. Because what I'm getting with the High Priestess is that we are actually uncovering that which could be seen as sort of not just advantageous towards us when it comes to these trade-offs and these opportunities to start right in this new life, this new reality that everyone's going to be getting, but also with the High Priestess, we are having a chance to correct any kind of misapplied information or misinformation that we have been getting from, whatever influences, whatever sources. In fact, with the High Priestess upright, I'm actually seeing for a lot of you, this experience is actually going to be guided. This is something where it's almost like in a Christmas, in a Christmas Carol, where it's kind of like you get to go and be sort of taken through an examination of all processes of your life, and you're seeing this is what it is, but this could be here instead. And with the High Priestess, there's almost this revelation of all truths that are going on underneath as well, seeing the processes at work. And what I like about this is also very spiritually instructional. right? Because I do my readings for people who are working a spiritual path. When we talk about being spiritually instructional, you're seeing why certain things happen or are the way they are, as opposed to what they could be, and you're seeing what elements are contributing to the reality that you're experiencing versus what elements you need to actually make the trade-off. And luckily those elements will be there as well, because the High Priestess is coming in as that guide. The High Priestess is coming in and saying, look, if this is where you want to be, you need to know that this is where you're going instead. And it may be okay, you may be fine with that, it might not be, and you might want to take the tip, you might want to take the shortcuts, because we're seeing a lot of information coming through that is allowing you to kind of get in the fast lane when it comes to maybe a financial priority, a family priority, a love priority, whatever the heck's going on. But we want to make sure that our ears are perked up, because the High Priestess always comes in the form of instruction. Whether this is instruction by one, instruction by many, or maybe even just illuminating circumstances. We have a lot of things kind of revealing their true nature to you this week. You better believe what is being revealed is something that you are supposed to at least be looking at. Now, when it comes to the news and arrivals, well, we've got the King of Swords in reverse, and a lot of you Aquarius people are going to really be kind of looking at a situation where, when it comes to maybe a friendship or a family situation or maybe a team situation or a group situation, somebody's inability to kind of live their whole truth is becoming a problem for other people. Because what I'm seeing with the King of Swords reversed, it's almost like there's some kind of deception going on. Now, sometimes this can be self-deception. Usually, in a lot of cases with the King of Swords reversed, we are seeing somebody living a lie or keeping a deep, dark secret. But we are also now understanding that the extraordinary measures that are being taken to preserve that illusion in order for this person to function, or this group to function, or this situation to exist at all, is actually what is basically saying this is the limit of how good it can get with this person or this group, this experience or this family or whatever. And with the King of Swords reversed, obviously they're not living a very vibrant life, but also at the same time we're having a chance to look and see, oh my goodness, am I actually sort of am I helping facilitate this? Am I a part of this? Have I agreed to do this? Has some of this rubbed off on other areas of my life? With the King of Swords reversed, we have a chance to do some immediate correction by actually applying that High Priestess energy, right? We are finding out the deep, dark secret of the King of Swords reversed. We are finding out exactly what is going on behind the scenes. What is the reason for all of the all of the smoke and mirrors? But we're also understanding that the high maintenance nature of living a lie, or keeping all of that in the closet, or deciding to try and preserve this deep, dark secret, whatever it is exactly the reason that we don't have enough resources as a group, as a family, or as a friendship, or a business collaboration, whatever this is, to move forward and go any further when it comes to maybe making some headway with our goals, with our itinerary, with our highest opportunities. And what you decide to do with this, well, that depends on how the High Priestess presents it. Maybe it's an opportunity to set this person free from the machinations of their own mind. Maybe it's something that we just have to leave by the roadside. But this is going to be a part of the trade-off, right? This is the part where there is the trade, where it's like, look, we can trade this situation for something better, something that is 100% whole, organic, pure, and true, as opposed to something that is an artificial contrivance. Now, moving on to material resources, well, we've got the Seven of Swords upright. And it does look like a lot of you are going to be in a situation where there's an unstable effort that is actually in the works as it relates to a financial or a professional priority that you are already working on. Now, when we have the Seven of Swords upright, and it is upright. I don't know if I said reverse. For some reason I thought I might have. With the Seven of Swords upright, in a lot of cases, we are catching something that is working against our purposes, working against our interests, as it relates to a financial or professional matter. And that's what's really coming through. But I think the problem is that this is going to really put us in a space where we have to make a tough decision, because this may have been a place where we put our faith. This may have been a person, or maybe a project, or an account, or a strategy that we've seen other people do well with in the past, but it's kind of not doing that now. With the Seven of Swords upright, we do have a chance to, of course, correct the situation. That's why we're able to catch it with the High Priestess upright. There could even be something happening here where you could actually use this to your advantage to, again, maybe increase your resource prosperity by applying this in a different way, seeking a different resource, trading up as the trade-off, or maybe even, hi Persephone, or maybe even finding yourself in a situation where with the Seven of Swords upright, a lot of you could even be seen as sort of a hero for ending whatever painful cycle this is. Financially this week with the Seven of Swords, once we actually acknowledge what is going on, we correct the unstable effort, however it is showing up, things are going incredibly well. I will say that with the Seven of Swords, though, whatever is, again, the source of the unstable effort, I think knows what they're doing. They just maybe don't necessarily know how much of a problem it's creating. So keep an eye out for what's going on there. Once you manage to actually, work this through, again, the trade-off, the trade-up, the trade-out is going to be wonderful. As we go towards relationships, well, we've got the Six of Cups upright. And a lot of you Aquarian people are in a really nice spot when it comes to love and romance this week. In fact, with the Six of Cups, a lot of you are getting a chance to start bringing in elements of, again, we talk about your true self, but we also talk about like a past self into your love life. This could be possibly for a lot of you who are currently coupled, or even those of you who are available, having a chance to explore and live a lot of romantic or maybe even intimate plans and desires that, we've almost had to like forego or block or do without for too long. Because the Six of Cups upright is indicating there is a return to something that is actually natural and, and satisfying and pure, and something that also, I think, touches your heart, touches your soul in a very deep way. In fact, the Six of Cups upright, a lot of you who are currently available or looking for somebody new may meet somebody that actually does have a very similar spiritual, creative, or maybe even maybe I would say, yeah, spiritual, creative, or, temperament about them that actually really greases the wheels of a new couple kind of opportunity that you could have. For those of you who are currently in an established relationship, the Six of Cups upright is indicating both you and your partner are working on reviving perfectly good, perfectly healthy, and of course, perfectly satisfying aspects of yourselves that really do belong out in the open and sort of enjoyed and celebrated every day in this relationship. Things we've kind of cut ourselves off from, things that we may have accidentally threw out with the bathwater. We have a chance to start actually reviving that this week and having a whole new way to kind of express our love, because with the trade-off and the trade-out here, we are trading maybe something that's become a bit wash, rinse, and repeat, or something that is taking up space for something that actually does already belong to us, that deserves more time, energy, and space in the spotlight. So that is your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because y'all know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session, go to my website. It's called integrativemysticism.com.